So I have a cup and a half of flour here, and I'm going to start incorporating the beets into the flour. Going to have to add some more water here. So I had a 1/4 cup of water with the beets in the food processor. I'm now going to add another 1/4 cup. The dough should be soft to do the roti, paratha, chapati. Doesn't matter, it's all the same thing. Flour and water. I think this is coming together the way I like it. I think I need just a little more water. You see, the thing when you're doing these things, it's really difficult to give a recipe. I could give you an approximate, or anyone who is giving you a recipe. It's approximate. It depends on the time of year, the humidity. Like right now it's cold, it's December, what today is, December 4th. So in the summertime when the humidity is high, you would need less water. So it's a feel. So the only thing I can say is that the dough has to be soft. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more water. So it's approximate, and then you get a feel for it, and over time, you know, practice, you would know what you have to do. The important thing is that you have to keep doing these things to learn and to become good at it. So this is good. This is, you know, I push my finger down and you can see the hole and it comes back up. So I'm going to knead this for about 5 minutes, maybe 3, because it's getting late and I'm hungry. I need to get this going because I have to rest this for about half an hour. So let's make the cilantro. I'm using the cilantro, the broadleaf cilantro. I find that this has a lot more flavor to it. So this is what I'm going to use. Oh, I forgot to put this in here. So let's process this. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of water and let's turn this on. Start kneading with the heel of your hands. I don't think I'm going to need any more water for this. You see, it depends. This is a cilantro. It has a lot more water in it. So I did not have to add additional water. I could get a feel for the dough, and I know that I don't need any more water. It's soft. It's basically soft. It's sticky but not sticking. So you knead this 3 to 5 minutes, let it rest for half an hour. When I come back, I'm going to do a third dough with some pumpkin from my garden, which I'm going to add some turmeric powder to it. I added a tiny bit more flour to this because it started to stick to the bowl. And like I said, sticky but not sticking. So this is good. You see, it's soft. It's soft. Sticky but not sticking. It started to stick a little bit, so I added some more flour. Because I know people get very scared when they are dealing with anything to do with flour and baking, and they need every little instruction that you can give, every little tip. But if it's too sticky and it's sticking to the bowl, you just add a little bit more flour, not too much. So you add a little bit more flour and then you see how it feels. And of course, the more you knead, the more it's going to start getting more moist. It's going to take in the flour and it's going to get more moist. And depending on how moist it is, you might have to keep adding more flour until you get it to the right consistency. Now this has taken in the flour that I put in, and it feels good now. It's sticky but not sticking. So I'm going to leave it at that. I've been doing this now for about 5 minutes. This is good. I'm going to wrap this up in some plastic wrap. Let it rest for 30 minutes. So this is one of the pumpkins that grew in my garden. Before I cut open this pumpkin, I want to show you the sweet potatoes that I cleaned and cured, and I'm going to make a sweet potato pie very soon with this. You know, before Christmas I'm going to do that. So not too bad for my first try of planting these potatoes in a very small area in my yard. See? So it doesn't really take a lot of space to do that. Just start growing your own food and be creative and try to see if you can feed your family with things that you planted with your own hands. Makes a difference. So now let's cut open this. Cut it in sections. See? From my own yard, guys. So I'm going to use about this much. So let's make our third and last. I have some turmeric in here. Teaspoon, 1.5 cups flour. I have my mixture here. Of course, it's very watery. We'll see what happens, because I added a 1/4 cup of water because it was a bit dry. So it's really, I don't think I'm going to need to add any more water to this. If anything, maybe just a little bit more flour, because this is really soft. Yes, I think I'm going to add a little bit more flour to this. This is about 1/8 of a cup, but it's really soft, so I'm tempted to add some cumin seeds to this. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to need more flour, guys. I shouldn't have added, because after all, this is squash and it's very watery, but while I was processing it, it just wasn't moving. It wasn't moving, so I added the water and then it got too watery. So I already added 1/4, so this is another 1/4. So this would be, let me see if I can do it with 1/8 instead of the whole 1/4 cup. I think this would be good. Yeah, I think this is good. I think I'm going to add some cumin seeds to this. About 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. And work it in. Let me add some more flour. Yeah, this is good. So we ended up with 2 cups of flour. This is good now. The cumin seeds are incorporated in there. And so if you're making this, don't add any water. Just keep the processor going. I guess I was impatient and I didn't see, it wasn't moving. It was dry. So I added the water. So you don't need to add water. All you need is the pumpkin or the squash. So I'm going to let this rest, and then when I come back, we're going to be at the stove. So I'm going to cut this. What I'm going to do is to roll this so that I could get it into equal sizes. It would be easier to do it like that instead of just pinching off. If you roll it, and then you can eyeball it and see what you're cutting. There are some pieces, large pieces in there, but that's okay. If you don't want to put the beet, all of the beets, you can strain and just use the beet juice. Okay, so gonna make this into a ball, round, 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 and you have your ball. You set it aside. Okay, so then let's roll this out. Let me get my rolling pin. You can start flattening it out your hands. Then you put it down, flour the board, start rolling it out. This rolling pin is rather large. Let me get a smaller one. You turn, quarter turn to get a perfect round shape. As thin as possible. See, this is how thin it is. So let's go to the stove. Ooh, hot. Medium high, the stove. So what I like to do, I like to put it on the direct heat to get a little bit of charring. Starting to bubble up a little bit. See, it got a little bit charred. So I put it on the direct heat over this wire mesh here. It's actually a cooling rack, and just to get a little bit of color, see? And it tastes better like this too. So let's do another one. This is done. See, I like it charred like that. So you put it on the open flame, but you can put, this is a cooling rack that I have here. You put it on a cooling rack and you would get the same result. So guys, my battery power went out on my camera when I was doing this. Today is December 6th, Monday. I started doing this on Sunday and I had to stop because I had to charge my camera. So I folded up my rotis in some plastic wrap, put it in the refrigerator. So I'm going to continue this, making the roti, chapati. Roll this out. I also made, you know, for Sunday dinner, some curry chickpea and some curried black beans. So I'm going to show you, this would be the leftover stuff from yesterday, Sunday. You want to jazz up your wheat flour a little bit. You just add some veggies to it. You can do carrots, you can do squash, you can do avocado. I think I made an avocado paratha some years ago. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't remember. So this is good. It's even. So I'm gonna pick it up. And these have no salt. It's just water and flour and the veggie. Whatever you're going to be eating it with is going to have enough salt. You don't need to put salt on this. So let's go to the stove. So you put this for a few seconds, 10-15 seconds. And then I'm going to put this on direct heat. So I'm going to move from here to here. I have my other burner. You can see the flames here. I'm going to take this, put it on direct heat, turn up. You see it starts puffing up. You can see right here, you see it's puffing up. There is some physics to this. Doesn't always happen, but you get a little puffing. And you get the char. I like the char on it. So this is done. I'm going to put this, fold it up in a towel to keep it soft and warm. I'm going to do the squash and cumin seeds. Going to press this into the flour so it's not so sticky. I could roll it out. Okay, let's go to the stove. So this is about 30 seconds. Turn it around. And now I'm going to move it to my direct heat. See, it starts puffing up. You can see it right here. It's puffing up. Yeah, I could see it starting to get some bubbles on here. I'm gonna turn this over. Now I'm going to move this to my direct heat. Starting to bubble here. So this is done, and I like my char. See how it's charred? I like that. So guys, this is the finished product. I did the rest of the paratha off camera, and this is the beet one. See, you can see the red color when you tear it open. It's delicious. While you're doing it, you have a cover, so I used this cover to cover it, to keep it moist. And this is the cilantro. You can see the green color, and then this is the pumpkin. So I have some dal here that I made yesterday, and the chickpea and the black beans. This is leftover from yesterday. So if you want a recipe for this, I don't know, you can. I did a chickpea, I don't know, 2 years ago, a chickpea curry. You search on my channel, you will find a chickpea recipe. It's really good. This is good. Leftovers are always really good. It's soft, no salt. Delicious. Well, guys, do this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.